Let's welcome again Tony and Jonna Mendez.
Just back from LA on Monday, still reeling from that experience. The opportunity to tell the story of Argo, a little bit of the behind-the-scenes story, doesn't necessarily appear in the book, doesn't necessarily appear in the movie. It's a wonderful opportunity to do that here at the International Spy Museum, a museum where we've been board members since the day it opened, actually for a good time before it opened, because Tony was very involved in helping to organize this museum, helping to figure out how to take such a complex subject and break it down into munchable pieces for the public. So back in 1979, everybody knew that our embassy had been overrun in Tehran. Everybody knew that these militant, radical Muslim students had come over the walls and had taken our diplomats hostage. The number of diplomats was a little fuzzy. It was never quite clear if you were following closely in the news. Was it 52 or was it 61? Or maybe it was 58. And of course, that was a purpose. It was fuzzed up for a reason, and that reason was that 6 Americans had slipped out the back door, had not been captured, had gone onto the streets of Tehran, had bounced around, this is not in the movie, from apartment to apartment, had gone into some of the Western embassies and actually been asked to leave for various reasons. The British took them in. The British said, we are under attack. We have to, it's not safe. You have to go. The Kiwis, as they call them, took them in. Wasn't safe. They finally end up at the Canadian embassy. And the way that happened, trying to think if this was in the movie, Bob Anders, one of the 6, remembered that he had a friend at the Canadian embassy, the number 2, and he called in the middle of this revolution. He called John Sheardown, a man whose name almost never comes up in the context of this story. And he said, John, we're in trouble. And Sheardown did not say, let me check with my ambassador. And he did not say, give me a minute to mull this over. He said, on the phone, come on over. We'll take care of you. What took you so long? And that was when they went in really into the embrace of the Canadian government. But let's go to Tony. When you first heard, you're working at CIA, you're chief of authentication branch. Can you speak to what you were doing at the time as the chief of authentication, what that work involved?
Yes, in order to do espionage, you have to go out and cross international borders. You have to be able to blend in, and you have to be able to do this over and over again. The work is still very much a matter of being on the streets, in encountering sources and evading enemies. So in order to do that, you've got to have what we call authentication. The ability to authenticate agents and even their families, if it comes to that, so that you can do the business. It's got to be timely, it's got to be accurate, it's got to be safe. And very much about disguise and documentation and all that, but it's also a matter of developing recipes for penetrating all the borders in the world. So it's a very busy activity, very big part of the espionage game. Just keeping up with those that you have out there and in place, hoping that they can stay, but always keeping up so that you're ready to move them on when it's time.